A political earthquake just rocked Europe. The Dutch farmers who've been protesting against the draconian environmental mandates of their government have just won an overwhelming victory at the polls, shaking the very foundations of Dutch politics. We're going to take a look at what happened in yesterday's elections across their nation and see how it signals a massive shift to the populist right in Europe as a whole. You're not going to want to miss this. In an absolutely stunning upset, the upstart populist pro-farmer party known as the Farmer Citizen Movement shook the very foundations of politics in the Netherlands last night, scoring a massive victory in Wednesday's provincial elections. If you don't know, provincial elections that determine the makeup of the Dutch Senate were held yesterday on Wednesday, and a brand new party called the BBB, or the Farmer Citizen Movement, a party that represents the persecuted farmers who've been protesting against their draconian government. I mean, they've been protesting nonstop for months now. This brand new Farmers Party has won those elections. They look set to have secured more Senate seats than even their current Prime Minister's party was able to get. This was an absolutely shocking win for Dutch populists that's shaking up the Netherlands Senate in a way no political pundit even remotely predicted. They really did it. The Dutch Farmer Party, BBB, has become the single largest party in the Netherlands. It's an absolutely incredible development. Now, if you don't know, tens of thousands of farmers have been protesting all over the Netherlands these last several months in response to lawmakers in The Hague, the Dutch parliament, who voted to slash their nation's emissions by forcing farmers to use less fertilizer, cut their livestock herd numbers, which involves killing their livestock, or even stop work altogether. A lot of people don't know, but the Netherlands is the second largest agricultural exporter in the world. But for the hypersensitive environmentalism that pervades European politics via their various green parties, that kind of agricultural prominence is a problem because it produces too much nitrogen via the cattle-produced manure and fertilizer. Too much, I should say, for radical green sensibilities. And so, as part of the European Union, The Hague decided to bring those nitrogen emissions down to levels that the Greens in Europe would find acceptable. And that involved nothing less than a radical move, a mandate to reduce livestock by 30%. And that caused farmers throughout the nation to absolutely explode. So over the last several months, we've seen nothing less than a massive populist uprising with far more farmers rising up and basically shutting down the nation. Protesters have blocked food warehouses and supermarket distribution centers. Even fishermen have joined in. They blocked ports and to show support with the farmers. The blockade is effectively preventing ferries from sailing, trucks from delivering their goods, which of course is causing lengthy delays and massive inventory shortages throughout the nation. They've shut down Dutch highways and byways, very similar to the way the Freedom Convoy shut down Ottawa for those several weeks in Canada. And so needless to say, how have the liberal globalists in the Netherlands responded to these protests? Well, they went full Trudeau. In the name of democracy, Dutch police have consistently cracked down on the protesters. They've been pulling out their guns. At one point, we have video. They've even started firing on some of these protesters. But despite all of these Gestapo-like tactics, the Dutch farmers have refused to back down. They've been fighting back these last several months, and now they are the official majority in the Dutch Senate. They fought back. They mobilized, they organized, and they kicked ass in the ballot box. So what does all of this mean? What is the real significance of this populist victory? Well, first, gang, I want to invite all of you to see one of the most spectacular sights imaginable. It's the astonishing performing arts company called Shen Yun. Shen Yun is dedicated to reviving the true, authentic culture of China before the communist takeover. This is something that's incredibly important to me. I know many of you who are watching this video feel the same way. Shen Yun is not just a traditional Chinese dance and music show. It's a journey through China's rich history and culture. It's a chance to experience the beauty and magnificence of true Chinese art, something that's been lost in modern times. In fact, Shen Yun is actually banned in China, but we have the opportunity to experience it here outside of China in major metropolitan areas near you all around the globe. Just click on that link below to find the performance nearest you. If you're someone who values tradition, intellectual stimulation, and great storytelling, you need to click on that link below right now and prepare to be absolutely amazed. What happened yesterday in the Netherlands is but par for the course of what's happening all across the European continent. Populist uprisings are growing by the day, and they are beginning to change the European political order. As frustrating as the European scene might seem, a nationalist populist paradigm shift is happening, and the numbers prove it. In the last decade, the number of nationalist populist parties across Europe has more than doubled. The share of votes won by populist parties in Europe has tripled in the course of such time, from 8.5% of the European vote to now nearly 25%. The most recent nationalist populist victory was in Italy with the one and only Giorgia Meloni. Back in September, the nationalist populist coalition of the Brothers of Italy, Lega, and Forza Italia won majorities in both chambers of the Italian parliament. But without question, the star of that election was the conservative firebrand Giorgia Meloni, and her tenure thus far has been so successful that Meloni is now officially the single most popular leader in the whole of the European Union. Giorgia Meloni has a 52% approval rating among Italians, which is huge in Italian politics, or European politics in general, for that matter. Remember, European politics in general, but Italian politics in particular, is multi-party politics. And so for one leader of one party among many, many parties, in this case, the Brothers of Italy, that one leader among many parties to garner that level of support of 51, 52% is very, very impressive. And now with the latest victory in the Netherlands for the Dutch farmers, we really are seeing a very real paradigm shift going on in European politics, where their politics is moving way to the right, the nationalist, populist, and traditionalist right that we've been following and tracking with for the last 6 years or so. So as frustrating as European politics can be, there's no question the world is moving to the populist right, and there is nothing that liberals can do to stop it. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on American Muslims rising up against woke LGBT activists. You're not going to want to miss that. So make sure to click on that link, and I'll see you over there. God bless.